It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hello gamers and welcome back to the Inn. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and today we're going to be going from rank 5 to 4 in our Road to Legend video. By the end of the month, hopefully we'll be able to hit Legend. I'm sure we can do it. We're going to be playing Control Warrior in this video, or at least I think I'm going to be Control Warrior unless we lose a bunch, and then obviously we'll change decks, but I think Control Warrior has been doing fairly well on ladder, and it's definitely a great deck to play if you've got the cards to do so. I know it's a little expensive, but I mean, it's definitely a pretty, it's a fun deck, like I mentioned, but it also takes some skill. Like Face Hunter and like Secret Pally, the learning curve on those decks are much lower than this, and yeah, so it makes this deck a lot more fun for me. We're going to keep the Armor Smith when going against a Hunter. Obviously, he's going to be a mid-range Hunter or aggro Hunter, or a Face Hunter, I should say, not really aggro, and it's pretty fast-paced decks, and the Armor Smith allows us to kind of hang in there early on, so does the Taskmaster and Bash. Nothing to really do on turn 1 here. Give him a water. Alright, so he's playing the Worgen Infiltrator, which tells me he's most likely going to be playing Face Hunter, so we'll throw it on the Armor Smith. Worst case scenario, he Abusive Sergeants the Worgen to make a trade. Best case, he plays like maybe a Knife Juggler or a Leper Gnome, or maybe just even passives. But Abusive Sergeant into Armor Smith seems to be a very popular play by most people, even Aggro Shaman. It seems like every time I play my Armor Smith against an Aggro Shaman, it gets Abusive Sergeant. I'm just like, oh my god. It never got any value. I guess it did kill a card, so it's fine. But we'll see what he does. Of course. Alright. Armor Smith down. We got 1 armor. Okay. And he's going to coin out a 2-drop, or is he going to passive? Hopefully passives. Okay, so Glaive's going to give this guy a 3 attack, but he can't attack right away with it, which is nice because we'll be able to Taskmaster that next turn and then probably use our passive unless we draw like another 2-drop, which we did. Oh, no, we couldn't play that anyway, but definitely going to Taskmaster. For some reason, I was thinking Taskmaster costs 1, and then we'd be able to have 2 mana left over for a 2-drop, but it doesn't. But at least we killed his 3-1. I don't know why I thought that. Taskmaster being a 1-drop, 2-2, deal 1 damage, give a card plus 2 attack, that'd be insane. Everybody would play Warrior. Alright, so it looks like turn 4, we're probably just going to weapon up, armor up, swing for 2. Do we attack with the weapon or not? That's the question. I don't think so. I think we hold the weapon until he plays a creature to which it can attack. Yeah. Even though attacking creatures with weapons sometimes isn't the best because of the face damage you take from attacking, obviously, the creature and then him swinging face, and then the passive for 2 damage every turn, which he's going to pass it in secret. So I'm going to assume that's going to be probably an explosive trap because he played Worgen. If he would have played maybe a web spinner, I would have think it's a frozen, but what is it? Explosive. Okay. So we'll armor up and we'll bash his face to get in some extra armor in there. And we normally I would never bash, but because we have turn 6 coming on and we've got 2 turn 6 plays and we also have a Dr. Boom, which is a turn 7 plays, we pretty have everything lined up and there's no room for a bash in there anytime soon. So this pretty much leaves us to use Bash for face there, and because he's playing Face Hunter, which is not mid-range. Mid-range, I probably wouldn't have Bash, but because he's playing Face, definitely want to do that. And then definitely True Heart. There's no reason to Shield Maiden in this situation. Getting the 2 extra armor every turn is just going to be great. So with Face Hunter, they run what I mentioned before. So with Face Hunter, they're going to run like the Worgens, the Leper Gnomes. You won't find Leper Gnomes or Worgens in the mid-range. You'll find Web Spinners and such. So when they're running Worgen, you see that. You see a Leper Gnome. 2 of their traps, they probably run 2 explosives and then 1 snake trap. Or maybe they'll run a bear, a snake, and an explosive. But the mid-range most likely will run 2 frozen and a snake, or 2 frozen, maybe 1 explosive, or maybe 2 snakes and 1 bear. Sorry if that was a little quick and you don't can't follow that, but maybe you'll rewind and do that. But most of the time, mid-range don't really play explosives. If they do, it's 1, so kind of know the probability of 1 coming out from a mad scientist. As when you're playing Face Hunter, most of them run the 2 explosives. Very popular. Or if you see them play like a Knife Juggler and then play a secret, it's probably a snake trap, so don't attack the Knife Juggler. Heads up. Alright, so he's getting a pretty big field right now. We did True Heart, so again, the passive every turn is what we're going to aim to do. So we're just going to swing our True Heart into his 4/4, probably play Sledge Belcher, passive, and kill off the Knife Juggler. Again, taking 3 damage from the Knife Juggler, we want to do that before we passive because armor is valued more important than health. And this is because of our Shield Bash and such. So we pretty much cleared up the field really nice there. He only has 4 cards left. Again, having the True Heart is like almost the most important thing against a face hunter, is to pretty much just have them run out of steam and run out of damage, so your passive just keeps chunking out 4 armor per turn. Like, they just can't keep up with it. Even if they use their steady shot every turn, you still get 2 armor over that. So it's like if you were to just armor up every turn normal. So we could Dr. Boom, or we can Shield Maiden here. Dr. Boom would have been the aggressive play, and then Shield Maiden would have been the kind of defensive play, the safer route. And again, if we were playing mid-range, I probably would have thrown out the Dr. Boom because I'm not scared of mid-range pumping out as much damage as the face hunter does. So, because Dr. Boom definitely was a play there. But then we couldn't have passive too. With the Shield Maiden, we were able to Shield Maiden and passive, so we got 9 extra health. As the Dr. Boom, we wouldn't have been able to passive. But again, it put the 7/7 down with Boom Bot. So if you were to play another trap, like a Frozen Trap, we could actually use, wow, another kill command. So he's wasting a lot of his burst on our face right now. And another steady shot. So he's pumping out a lot of damage, and if we didn't have this +4 armor, this would definitely be something pretty bad. So Despite, armor up, shield slam into the 4/4, swing face. I'm pretty sure with everything, there's no reason not to swing face with everything because we can push lethal next turn, killing off these 1/1s. I mean, we're at 20 health, and him having 2 1/1s that aren't even considered beasts, so he can't even Houndmaster them, isn't really they're not important. Of course, we could have made 2 value trades there, you know, killing 2 of his creatures, not losing anything, but we also would have missed out on 8 damage, and we're not pushing lethal next turn, and pushing lethal the next turn if possible, and no shot of him being able to do 20 damage, you know, with 3 cards is pretty, you got to identify those kinds of things. Alright, so he got me down to, he did 6 damage, which is pretty good. Okay, so he did 9 damage. It's pretty good, and I had a taunt out. That just shows you Face Hunter can push through. So he can Sami Dod. This is good. Alright, so we're halfway. We got to do 3 more wins in a row. Or hopefully in a row. If they're not in a row, it's going to be a longer video. Not the Control Warrior is not a long video anyway. But hopefully we can knock this out semi-quick because we do want to start ranking up. I'm a little bit late. We've been doing a lot of free-to-play. I've been pumping out a lot of other deck guides too, so it's kind of hard to make other deck guides, pump those out, pump out the road to Legend, and play on my free-to-play account while trying to hit Legend. And I'm trying to like change up the decks too, so I'm not always just playing the same deck when I'm going to Legend, which is obviously going to be pretty boring. So doing all of that is a little bit, it takes some time, but we'll be able to do it. So we're going to keep Despite, obviously. The Despite Death Rattle will be great if he plays Muster for battle. The Armor Smith is also nice. The Baron will probably come in handy, but we can't play it anytime too. And the Shield Maiden is good, but obviously not this early on. I would have preferred to have maybe a War Axe or a Taskmaster or even an Alkalite. Alkalite. Alright, so we're going to end our turn. Actually, no, we're just going to end our turn here. There's no point to... I was thinking about coining into Armor Smith, but you normally only do that if you have the War Axe in your hand, and we don't have a War Axe. So there'd be... We could coin it out and see what secret that is. Could be a Noble Sack. But there'd be no point. There'd be no point to that. Because if it's a Noble Sack, what's the point? It's not going to... It's going to trigger anyway. I guess, unless it was... Like, if it was... No. There's no reasoning behind it. I was trying to counter it. Sorry, the mini fridge just turned on and scared the shit out of me. I was like, what's growling? Oh, man. You just see some beast in the background take me out. It's just like, yo, Rob just got eaten in this video. When's the next guide coming out? Alright, so we're gonna coin into Despite. Maybe the Whirlwind will be able to take out his field, or attack first and see what happens. Yeah, we'll attack first, see what happens, and then we'll coin into the Despite, and if it's Avenge, we'll kill off the creature. The worst creature Avenge could hop onto is the Spider, so of course it fucking hops onto the Spider. Ideally, we wanted the Avenge to hit like a 4/3 and then attack the Spider next turn, because then we could have popped its 1/1s without the 1/1s being able to attack, but now the 1/1s, it's just... It was just... I'm not even going to go there. Of course, Avenge hits the Spider. Let's just leave it at that. Fuck that Spider. And I keep taking sips of the water because my throat really is bothering me. So hopefully that's not too bad. I heard one of the comments we received lately was, "You're always sipping on your drinks. It's really annoying. You're always sipping and slurping." And I'm like, damn, am I really slurping? I mean, I know I take a drink, but that's just because I'm talking very quickly. I'm trying to provide you with much information as possible, along with giving you details about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to make funny. It's just the voice I make when I'm acting as someone else. I do that with my dad. Do it with Tony. Alright, so we're going to go face. Obviously, the death rattle from our weapon's going to hit everybody, but we're probably going to play the Alkalite prior, so make sure we draw that free card. Because if we didn't do that, our Alkalite would only draw 1 card because he would use his weapon to kill it. Now it'll actually draw 2 cards and we'll end our turn. So keep in mind, obviously play the Alkalite prior to attacking with your Deathbite, so the death rattle can deal 1 damage to it. So he's going to play probably a couple secrets here. There's 1. Maybe he'll stop at 1. Passive. Okay. Looks like that was his only secret. He's going to kill off the Alkalite, most likely. Okay, we're going to draw another card. So Alkalite was able to give us 2 cards and a weapon charge. That's pretty good. Some good Alkalite value. Alright, I wish we could play Thorzen. We've got a good hand here, but I think Alkalite Armorsmith is a decent play as well. Let's see what that secret is. So it looks like it reduced its health down to 1. I played the Alkalite first because if we were to play the Armorsmith, it would just die to his 1/1. Now the Armorsmith will most likely at least get us 2 to 3 armor. As for the Alkalite, it would probably only allow us to draw 1 card because he's going to play another secret, making a Secret Keeper a 3 attack. He didn't do that, but he could have. So at least drawing 1 card with the Alkalite and him wasting a secret on it, yeah. So I guess we would have drawn 2 cards from our Alkalite if we would have played the Alkalite first, or the Alkalite second. But I'm pretty satisfied with my hand right now. My card hand. All right, so even though he's got 5 potential damage on the board and our Emperor only has 5 health, because of how powerful our hand is and how many high drops we have, I think the Emperor in our hand is just too much value not to play. Like, we have Baron, we've got Shield Main, we've got Alexstrasza, we've got, you know, our Execute now costs 0, our Shield Slam costs 0, our Brawl costs 4, which means we can play Sylvanas and Brawl in the same turn, so there's a lot of value there. Alright. So we do have the BDH to get rid of the Boom, but we can Brawl, and hopefully it just doesn't, Boom doesn't live, and I guess it does, we could just big game, so I think Brawl is our best bet here. We have Execute and Shield Slam for whenever he plays, the Challenger, but ideally Boom should die. And yeah, so Boom died. Ideally we don't want to use the Big Game Hunter after we use Brawl. Passive and probably end. There's no really good play here. We're not going to tempo out BGH, and we're not going to Shield Slam it because it's 1 damage really doesn't bother me, and we can armor up. I'm probably going to go on a rant about Secret Pally semi-soon. It's just, it's so... I understand the deck is good. I understand sometimes it's fun. But there's a point where when you make Secret Pally your main deck, you play all the time. It's just like, you're like the basic white girl and you go to Starbucks every day. I'm sorry, but it's just true. Like the deck, it's not like a priest or a warrior or like, I don't know. We'll talk about it in a bit. From here, I think we Baron or we Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza has a lot of value right now. And it seems okay, but I think Baron to clear field, because if he draws Competitive Spirit, that's just a bad time. Divine Favor is also a bad time. You always have to assume that the Paladin's going to Divine Favor at any point in time, which means he's going to draw a fuck ton of cards. So, I think we Shield Slam the Spider, the mini spiders come out, we Baron. And I'm fucking retarded. God, oh my god. Yep. We should have... You guys just saw what I did. I thought I had enough armor, and this is why you always armor up, and then you shield block, or bash, or shield slam. I don't even know what the fuck the card is anymore. You use... I don't even want to talk about it. At least he can't kill Baron. It depends how this ping lands. If this ping hits Baron, this is really fucking bad. Alright, we live. Alright, good. Alright. Everything, he's going to swing into Baron. It was really bad, but now it's not so bad. Even though that was retarded to me. Alright, so now we're going to Alexstrasza his face, swing with Baron, and he's probably going to concede because it's going to kill his entire field, and we're going to deal, you know, he's at 8 health, so he's at actually 6 health. But yeah, that Baron play was horrible. We needed to armor up, and then shield slam, and then let Baron go, because Baron then would have killed the mini spiders. He gave up, but that if we were playing like a better player and the situation was a little bit different when they were closer to, you know, being able to beat us, and or their hand being... him being able to Divine Favor somewhere in there, that mistake would have probably been really costly. So, that was my bad. Let me sit up straight here. Whew. My back is killing me. I need a new chair. I wonder did anybody know how much a gaming chair costs? Not that you need a gaming chair, because I don't think it actually increases your gaming potential. Unless it does, and that'd be pretty cool. But I don't think it does. On the back of it, it's like increases gaming by 2 intellect or something. Alright, we're gonna get rid of Dr. Boom. Do we keep the shield slam? Do we not keep the shield slam? Of course we don't kill the shield. Kill the shield slam. Kill the shield slam! God, I can't even speak right now. Oh my gosh. I guess you'd only really keep a shield slam if you're going against maybe like a shaman, an aggro shaman, and then you could have like bash in your hand, and then on turn 4 you could bash and shield slam his like feral spirits, because they always seem to have feral spirits on turn 3. All right, so there's nothing on turn 1. Turn 2, depending on what he plays, if he uses his passive, we may Taskmaster it just to get two damage on the board. Secret Keeper. Alright, so it looks like we're just going to War Axe a Secret Keeper to the face. It's good. Coining out like a Noble Sacrifice on his part would have been pretty bad at that point. Like, bad for me. Because then I would swing into it, Noble Sac would hit, the thing would have 2 attack, he'd use another maybe Secret, bring it to 4 HP, and then War Axe wouldn't kill it, so then we'd have to War Axe and then Taskmaster. It'd just be a bad time. So I think we're going to Taskmaster this 1-1 just to put a body on the board and obviously not attack with our weapon. What's this pally going to do? He's obviously playing Secret, so he's going to Cog Hammer out, which tells me he doesn't have muster for battle, and he probably doesn't have that great of a hand. Okay, Sledge Belcher can't play it, passive and end. We needed, what would be a good turn 4 drop? We really don't have any great 4 drops besides like a Death Spite and maybe like an Alkalite, but that's not even a 4 drop. That would have been a 3 drop. And we couldn't even combo it with the Taskmaster, even though his weapon wouldn't be able to kill the Alkalite anyway, so we'd probably draw 2 cards from it. But Alkalite would have been fine. Wow, he just tempoed out a Keeper of Uldaman. It's pretty bad. He must be running mid-range. No, but he played a Keeper. I mean, a Secret Keeper. I mean, Sledge Belcher here, even though we most likely know it's going to die because he's just going to weapon and Keeper into it, and the Keeper's probably going to have 1 health left. And I say Keeper because that's actually like a Keeper of Uldaman, and then Secret Keeper is a card that he already played. So I guess he's playing like the updated version of Secret Pally where he runs like 1 Keeper of Uldaman. Maybe he took out the, Aldor the Peacekeeper, and he put in 2 Keeper of Uldamans. That's interesting, he threw in the Keeper of Uldaman. Alright, so it's going to be left with 1 health. He's going to swing his weapon into it. Ideally, our slime can kill his 3-1. No, it can't. Alright. True Heart is nice, but not right now. We're not really even worried about dying. I think Shield Maiden... I wish it was turn 7, because then we could Shield Maiden, Shield Slam the Sledge Belcher, swing our axe into the slime, and then use our slime to kill the 3-1 like we wanted to. But we're 1 mana short, so I think we just Shield Maiden. Yeah, I mean, True Heart's a good play too, but ideally he would just swing his Sledge Belcher. If we were to play True Heart, he would have slung his Sledge Belcher into our slime, and then his 3-1 into our True Heart, and then he just pretty much made a great trade. He killed our 6-drop with a 3-1, and now it at least makes him have to play a card. If not, we're going to be able to kill his Sledge Belcher, and then we'll be able to kill, again, his slime with our weapon, and then use our slime to kill his... Never mind. Why would he do that? Why would he swing his 3-1 into our slime? Why wouldn't he just swing his Belcher into the slime and keep his 3-1 on the board? Like, that was really dumb trade of him. He could have just kept a 3-1 out. I mean, granted, his Sledge Belcher takes 1 damage, but his Sledge Belcher is going to die anyway to our Shield Maiden, who does have 5 attack. Alright, so I see almost a full clear here. We're going to have to pop that. I'm guessing it's an Avenge. We really don't want it to be a Redemption because the Sledge Belcher coming back to life to make another slime is really annoying. But we're just going to have to assume it's not that. Not that it would matter, because we're going to bash whatever this Avenge is. Hopefully this Noble Sac is an Avenge, and the Avenge hits on like a 1-1, and then we can bash it. Okay, this is good. Alright, so now we kill the slime, or kill the Belcher because there's no secrets up. We're not scared of it coming back to life. From here, we're going to bash the 4-3, and then from there we can use our passive, bringing us up to 5 armor, and then we're going to Shield Slam the 3-4 and then end our turn. So we're able to take care of pretty much every big minion on his board. We know he doesn't play Quartermaster, so him using his passive into like 3 Silverhand Recruits is bad. but we know he's not going to do that. He hasn't played Mysterious Challenger yet, Dr. Boom and or Tyrion, so we always have to expect those. It's getting to turn, 6 through 8 is when the big guns come out. Blessings of the King on his 1/1. All right. And Shielded Mini-Bot. Okay, so there's really no good way to get rid of that 5/5 unless we want to execute. And using execute on it, it just doesn't feel good. Ideally, we might maybe a Brawl here, but we don't have Brawl even though we run 2. So I think we Taskmaster it, bring it up to 7 attack, and then we Big Game Hunter it. Even though we know a Big Game Hunter is just going to die to Shielded Mini-Bot, I think it's a good play. I think it's a solid play. It gets rid of his biggest card. We armor up. We put 2 cards on the board. Shielded Mini-Bot takes down its, Divine Shield. So we'll be, if we draw into a weapon, we'll be able to kill it. If he keeps using his passive, we draw into a Brawl eventually. That's good because a 1/1 will live. Consecration was the best card he could possibly play there. Him being able to deal with both those cards without sacrificing any attack or Divine Shield and dealing 2 damage to our face is bad. So if we don't, depending on what we draw, it looks like True Heart is our next option. And it sucks because we're at 9 mana, so if we do True Heart, we can't get 6 armor. We only get 4. Yep, so True Heart it is. And we're going to get 4 armor because normally you play her on turn 10, you armor up, play her armor up because it resets your armor, but we can't do that. Not enough armor. We could have shield blocked and see what we draw, but it wouldn't. I'd rather put a creature on the board and start getting 4 armor every turn. We'll shield block next turn because ideally we want to draw into Brawl. Never mind, he killed off his creatures. Brawl's not that great anymore. Any big creature will do. Dr. Boom, Baron, Alexstrasza, Ysera, Hellscream, Baron. Okay, so we Baron here, and I'm pretty sure we just armor up. We don't use shield block. No point right now. We could actually, no. I was going to say we could shield slam the 1/2, but there's no point because the 1/1s it bring out, he still can't kill Baron with this. Unless he plays Knife Juggler and we revisit the last game where it sees if he pings the Baron or not. But I don't think that's the situation. I don't think he... Alright, so there's the Mysterious Challenger finally. 3 secrets left in his deck. He's going to summon a 1/1. And ideally he's going to go face. I guess he could start swinging. Putting 3 damage into Baron would be good because then that stops me from attacking with Baron because it would die to Noble Sack. But he just went face. That's the thing with Secret Paladin. They don't know any better. They just do whatever. So we're going to go start popping secrets, see what pops. Then we're going to probably shield slam some shit, execute some shit. Maybe we'll play Boom. Let's see how all this stuff lands and where the secrets go. But, like, he could have easily stopped all of this from happening and had a free board if he would have just put 3 damage into Baron. But he didn't do it. Alright, so the Avenge landed on the Silverhand Recruit. So we're going to shield block, see what we can draw into, or we Baron, or we passive, and we shield bash. I think I see what we can draw. Brawl. That's nice, but I don't think we use it right now. I think we can clear board, and if it gets a little bit out of control, then we use it. So we're going to kill off the 6/6 and just end our turn. It's going to kill off everything besides the 4/3. I guess another play could have been to not attack, kill off the 6/6 and end turn, and the whole board would have been wiped anyway. Right? But then we would have had to waste... No. That would have been a way. But then we would still have to eventually hit the Noble Sacrifice, Avenge, and Redemption. No, Redemption would have hit, and then Competitive here would have hit on that. I'm not sure how that would have went if we would have just used our passive. Anyway, we're going to Dr. Boom and passive. We're in a fine situation here. If he Noble Sacks, he only draws 3 cards. That does seem, I mean, 3 mana draw 3 cards is nice, but we have a Boom on the field. We've got Weapon in hand. We've got to execute if he plays Tyrion or some other big card like Boom. And then we're able to brawl if things get out of control. Ding, ding, ding. Alright, so he just conceded. Awesome! Alright, so we're 1 game away from rank 4 now. And this is good. This is good. Okay, so we've played Secret Paladins, we've played Huntards. What else are we gonna go against now? I'm assuming, what's another popular class? I guess Priest is pretty popular right now. Entombed Priest is good. Shaman's really popular, so I'm thinking Shaman or Priest. Oh, Shaman it is. Alright, so we're going to assume this is going to be Aggro Shaman. I think we keep this hand. I think how I mentioned before, we keep the Shield Slam if we go against an Aggro Shaman. We actually keep it this time instead of me saying I'm going to keep it and getting rid of it. Alright, Armor Smith is good. Because normally, depending on the hand, you keep it, but sometimes I play faster than I think, or I think faster than I play, or I just say things and I don't even actually do that. That's really cool, too. Alright, so that's a pretty good starting hand, as long as he doesn't get a Warlock, Druid, and or Hunter passive. Those are the 3 popular ones. Warlock is pretty scary. Okay, so he got a Mage. That's not too bad. I'm not scared of a Mage passive whatsoever. I almost am more scared of the Shaman passive, just considering what deck we're playing. If we were playing like an aggro deck, I'd be kind of scared. Because the pings could kill off our creatures and make value trades. Because when you're playing like a rush deck or an aggro deck versing each other, you don't go all face. You actually go for the value trades in that. But when you're playing a control warrior, obviously there's no value trades. You will not outtrade a warrior. So, yeah. I don't think we War Axe here. War Axe is always a good choice. We could kill the Trog, but we could actually kill the Trog if we Taskmaster our Armorsmith, swing our Armorsmith into the Trog. We gain armor, and we also put a 3/1 body on the board. And then if he wants to ping off our 3/1 body, it's going to cost him 2 mana, and he most likely doesn't have another 1-drop. Actually, he's overloaded 1 anyway. Yeah. Okay, this is good. So if he wants to kill the Armorsmith, he actually has to use all of his mana for the turn, and he can't play anything, therefore allowing us to next turn we'll have 3 armor, and if he swings face, then it puts us at 4, 1 over. We can actually, yeah, this is fine. It's fine, it's fine. It's good stuff. What's he gonna do? Do you really want that Armorsmith dead? I think you do. Ideally, he pings. We want him to ping in this situation. We don't want him to play as many creatures as he wants early on. We kind of want to hold him off until like turn 5 or 6 when we can start pumping out Sledge Belchers, Death Spites, and actually some of our bigger creatures that will just steamroll him. So it looks like we're going to be able to kill that Knife Juggler really easily. Yeah, this is actually a little bit more complicated than I thought now, because we're going to have to, if we War Axe... Yeah, there's the only real way to kill both those cards when they both need to die. No matter, like, these 2 cards need to die. Knife Juggler for sure. But if that Golem sticks, I don't want that pumping 3 damage out. So it looks like we have to... Even Armorsmith doesn't fit into the combo. Like, we have to bash and we have to Shield Slam. Because if we bash the 3/4, we get 3 more armor. And then we'll swing our 2/2 into the Knife Juggler and then finish off the 3/4 when it has 1 health with our Shield Slam. I wish there was a way to use our weapon here, and there's no good way to not clear this without using all 3 cards, including the creature on the field. It sucks, though. I wish we could do a 2 for 2, but it doesn't look like even if we play the Armorsmith, kill off the Knife Juggler, he's just going to kill off the Armorsmith next turn. So it looks like this is like our only route of action, and we have to hope he doesn't have another huge creature to play on the board that will live past our War Axe swinging into it. Because next turn we can Sledge Belcher, maybe he plays like a Whirling Zip-O-Matic or something like that. Okay, Wolf Rider and Leper. Okay, so it looks like I don't really want to play Sledge Belcher because it will just die right away, but we can Armorsmith and Axe, and we can Axe into the 3/1, and then Armorsmith can take out the Leper Gnome. And I think that's fine. And then if he uses an Earth Shock on the Armorsmith, which I want him to, our Sledge Belcher's in the clear. Also, yeah, you have to watch out when playing these aggro shamans because they run 1 Earth Shock and they always seem to draw it. It's very strange. Whenever you play 1 of something in your deck, you never draw it, and when you do, it's just like meh. And then like aggro shamans run Earth Shock. It's just like, oh, you top deck a Sledge Belcher? I top deck Earth Shock. So it looks like we're gonna kill the 2/1 with our War Axe and play the Belcher. And then we have another Belcher lined up after that, which was a really nice draw for us. The Alexstrasza is also really good in this matchup. Maybe not early on, but it's definitely good later in 2 turns, 3 turns. Because as soon as he gets the Doomhammer, which we know he's going to get, or like the Lava Burst and the Crackles, we're going to get down to pretty low health, and I'm sure the Alexstrasza will come in handy. It's come in handy before. Alright, so we Sledge Belcher, armor up, and we kill the 2/1. I suppose we could have gone face there because he would have normally attacked into our Sledge Belcher anyway. We're not really stopping him from doing that, but I guess we removed a creature in case he Flame Tongue totems, which is an issue. You always have to be scared. There's so many things to be scared of, and there's the Doomhammer. Shamans just can pump out so much damage so quickly. You just don't know if they've got the Doomhammer, Rockbiter, or the Lava Burst Double Crackle. It's just like you just shit it out 18, 20 damage with 5 mana. It's like, holy God. Alright, I'm pretty sure we're going to... Yeah, we're going to weapon up with our War Axe. swing into it, then armor up, swing for 3, and ideally we get to play Alexstrasza next turn. So if he, I don't think, yeah, he'll make it through our Sludge Belcher. He's gonna take 3. He's not worried about taking 3. So our Sludge Belcher is gonna go down this turn, and then for 6 mana, I guess he could draw 2. Okay, Lava Shock's gonna take it out. So he has still 6 mana to play with. It's ideal right now that he doesn't draw the, what is it, Ancestral Knowledge, where you're able to draw 2 cards. Because when they have 8 mana and you only overload for 2, it really doesn't matter to them anymore. If you draw Ancestral Knowledge early on as a Shaman, it's really bad. So I think we just swing for 3, equip the Death Spite, armor up, and end. Alexstrasza, we could have used it on him offensively, but we want to use it defensively because we have no creatures on the board, and he has a Rockbiter weapon and also a Fireball. So we can continuously do 5 damage per turn for the next 2 turns. Not including any creature he plays. And he has the ability to draw more cards. So there's the Rockbiter for 10 damage, automatically taking us down to 8 health. And then he's going to ping for 1 for 9. So we're going to actually be at 7 health, depending on what he uses here. So he's going to ping for 1. Now we're at 7. And then if he Lava Bursts, alright, so he Lightning Bolted, we're at 4 health. And this is why I saved Alexstrasza for ourselves and not, you know, him. So we're going to Alexstrasza ourselves. Swing for 4, and the scary part is he can still win. He can Ancestral Knowledge into a Rockbiter Lava Burst and win right here. Which, it may seem crazy, but they seem to do it. So he's gonna Spirits for the 2/2/3s, and he's gonna swing for I wouldn't swing for 4 more damage. I'd wait for the second Rockbiter, but he might. Okay, so he waited as well. Alright, so we're going to play the Alkalite, probably swing our weapon into a 2/3, see what we draw from the Alkalite. Hopefully it's like a shield block. Bash is fine too, so we're going to bash the 2/2. Swing for 8, play Death Spite. Actually, we're not. We're going to armor up. I feel safer with armor up. I feel safer. I looked at Death Spite. No. We're at 12 health. If we wouldn't have armored up, we would have been at 15. And again, 15, Rockbiter into Lava Burst or something like that. It's just safer because we're still pushing lethal this way too. Okie dokie, so it looks like that's going to be a well played. Nice. Alexstrasza putting in work. We live because of Alexstrasza. We didn't draw our shield blocks though. Bash was good off the top, just in case he had gotten the extra Rockbiter. Anyway, sweet, sweet rank 4. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. We will be going to rank 3 soon enough. I'll probably play some aggro Shaman just because it's a very popular deck right now. We actually already did our deck guide on it, but I've changed it a little bit since then due to some, not complaints, but comments you guys have made. You said the Death Lords are a little slow. They worked out for me because I was playing a lot of other aggro decks, but now that I'm not facing so many more. I'm not facing a lot of, like, I was facing a lot of Zoo, a lot of other Shamans, and a lot of mid-range Hunters. So the Death Lords make sense, but now I seem to be going against a lot of Warriors, a lot of Secret Pallies, and a lot of mid-range Pallies. Now, also a lot of Priests, and we don't want the Priests bringing out extra cards. So, with that, I've kind of changed the deck a little and took out the Death Lords. Anyway, rank 4 to 3 will be fun, and be sure to check out that video when it comes up. Hopefully, I'll have that for you soon. With all of this said, hopefully you've enjoyed. And as always, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.